welcome to another Board of Advisors podcast. I'm your host, Leo Climaco. We are here in beautiful Dallas, Texas at the Ritz-Carlton at the Q1 Board of Advisors Summit. I am with Cruz Gamboa. How are you, Cruz?
I'm excellent. It's so great to be here with you.
It's so great to have you here, my brother.
Yes.
Tell me, what brought you to BA?
What brought me to BA is, well, let me take a step back. So the way that I've been growing my company is through social media. And it was kind of like a broad sort of reach out to people that I know and, posting on social media and all of that. And what I realized is that the more that I spend time in communities with people that are like-minded in the concept that trust-based sales,
And that same frequency.
It's just that same frequency,
Yeah.
that frequency of giving and co-creating stuff together. The more that I spend time in masterminds and groups that think like that, the easier that it becomes to grow my business.
It's incredible.
And
because you grow. That's why.
Because I grow.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that social media I will not continue to do it. I will, but it's just I just believe that the future, at least for me, is just having less partners and more quality partners that are aligned with what I do.
That's awesome. So, Cruz, tell me, what do you think of BA?
Well, look, this is my first event, and frankly, the only things I knew about BA were through Mike Calhoun. And and I actually ended up speaking to a couple of people that have been part of BA before, and they spoke very highly of this mastermind. And now that I've had my experience going through the process of meeting everybody and everything, I can tell you that it's just really powerful. I'm also, as I mentioned, I'm part of other masterminds, and they're also great. They're great for networking. They're great for meeting other people, and great for meeting friends, right? As well. And I think you can do all of that. Plus, you have the ability to just get to business. It's a more direct process.
Yes.
The way that Mike does it, he just runs basically deal tables, and you're constantly being exposed to opportunities and to people. And then it's up to you to decide whether those people align with what you do and your business and your values, et cetera. And for you to take action.
He's also exposing you and me and us and everyone.
Absolutely. You remember, the first day I got here, I didn't really know what it was about, and he started asking me some hardcore questions, and you know what? I think I've learned.
Yes,
I've learned a ton this week.
It's incredible. Cruz, tell us, what do you do?
Oh, I'm a strategic CFO. My company, what we do is we help 7- and 8-figure founders who are really great at sales and marketing, but maybe have financial blind spots. We just help them close that gap by providing them with the strategies and the systems and the mindset support so that they can get to the next level and prepare for scaling. Because I don't know if this is your experience as well, but in working with several clients who are looking to scale their business, their number one area of focus is sales and marketing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me just put that out
For
there.
sure.
But the reality is that when you scale chaos scale. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it is true.
Yeah.
You have to take care of business first. You have to have that clarity of are you profitable? What are the offers that are more profitable? Where should you spend most of your time scaling the business? And that requires really knowing your financials. And most founders that I've met, whose revenues are between say $1 and $10 million, they know their revenues, maybe the gross profit, sometimes the operating margin, but what happens between that and what's on the balance of their account in the bank, what happens between those two things is completely a question mark. They don't know, and they typically rely on bookkeepers and accountants to give them the intelligence that these people cannot provide, right?
I'm guilty of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Guilty. I've been there in a place where I know my numbers, but I don't really know where half this money's going.
Absolutely. Because I always say to my clients, your cash is hiding on your balance sheet.
Yes.
I didn't say the income statement, your balance sheet, right?
Yes.
So this is where, I spend a lot of time helping my clients just get to that level of clarity, understanding their numbers, creating the processes so that every month we are getting a little closer to just getting to know, getting more intimate with their financials, producing a financial forecast so that we can go back and compare to the actual results, compared to doing variance analysis versus last year. I mean, these are not like geeky, like finance things. These are just like business things that every CEO that I've met, for example, I worked in GE for over 20 years.
Okay.
And I can tell you that the best CEOs, the best general managers, the best leaders in the organization, they knew their numbers cold.
Wow.
Right. So it is incumbent upon us who are, trying to grow our businesses to really do. I mean, we don't have to be like CFOs, right? But we do have to know what are the critical numbers that affect our business. And we need to have some level of predictability, 30, 60, 90 days, in the future, into the future, so that you can predict and make decisions with more confidence and more precision.
Did you go through that GE program where they certify you and they make you like level 1, level 6, level 7? What's it called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I mean, there's several. There used to be several programs.
Okay.
I don't know what programs are now because the company's changed so much. But
yeah.
I mean, I was part of the GE Financial Management Program, right? So that was a 2-year program with rotations every 6 months in different businesses, doing different things. So I did all of that.
Got it.
I think another path that people will take is the audit staff, and I think in there you start sort of like as an associate, and then a senior audit manager, and all of that. I didn't do that track. I just stay focused on just getting really good at finance. Okay, so so I didn't go on that track, on the audit staff track. I just basically did an MBA. I became a finance manager, FP&A leader. I was a Six Sigma finance quality leader as well, a black belt. So I did all of that, which was in lieu of going to audit staff.
What does that mean exactly? A Six Sigma. What does that mean?
Six Sigma is a quality methodology, right? It was the methodology that I think like in the early 2000s, GE spent a ton of money trying to improve processes and operations, and they brought the sort of the concept of quality from the Japanese, really, and they implemented it, and they called it Six Sigma, right? And you had Six Sigma black belts in operations, in marketing, in sales, in all important functions within the company, and I just happened to be sort of a black belt within finance.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
really
actually
important.
It's really important because what I did when I was a black belt, I did a ton of process mapping, a ton of like coaching to other people who were trying to improve their processes. And honestly, that skill kind of like stayed with me forever. Like I go and look at a process and I'm like in my mind, I see it in terms of a process map, right?
Yeah.
And that's just because of the training that I got there.
It's incredible. Cruz, how can BA help you? How can BA serve you?
Yeah, so right now my journey is building up my practice as a strategic CFO. I have a partner and an analyst, and we are taking in clients. And it's been a kind of like a recent thing for me. I've been operating under this format of the business in less than a year, because I used to do this one-on-one. So I used to have clients that I would serve, but it was just one-on-one. And I'm now kind of like shifting towards a model where I can take more clients because I have repetitive processes that I run.
Got it.
Okay, and I have a team that basically handles all of the sort of the financial preparations and the scheduling and the delivery, really. And so I'm more just being in front of the clients and doing more strategic stuff. But most of the stuff behind the scenes, most of the financials and the work that is required for me to be able to give those insights is already done for me. So that's kind of like the new model. And we're trying to, no pun intended, I'm trying to scale myself and my business by implementing the same concepts that I'm trying to ask my clients to implement, which is one offer, one entry point, one format of delivery, one objective for the quarter. So one. because we
and build on it. Yeah.
right? So as you start, getting really focused, that's where the scaling comes in. And then you can start thinking like, okay, now that we've nailed this, so now let's do this other thing, which can be a different product, a different segment, a different kind of client, etc.
Tell me who your ideal client is. Where are they financially? Where are they within their entrepreneurship?
Yes. So my ideal client is somebody who's crushing it in sales and marketing. They're 7 or 8 figures, and they understand that there's something not completely right with their business. They know their weaknesses, and they know that there are people that are smarter than them when it comes to financial strategy and structuring, and they know they need help, but they also want to scale, right? So that's where my company specializes on. We not only do we bring that financial perspective to the business, but from a scaling point of view.
Got it.
Right? So for example, the question that I'm asking is, are your reports correct? I mean, that's one question. The other question is like, what are the reports that we need in order to scale your business? What are the changes that we need to do in your chart of accounts or in the way that we report so that you can scale your business? What are the changes that we need to do to pricing so that you can scale your business? So it's more using the scaling perspective to drive the decision making and the financial reporting.
Got it. Do you do content in Spanish or do you only focus in English?
I only focus on English.
Okay.
I mean, I live here in the US, so I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. I have over 84,000 followers. It's taken me a little while to get there. Now my next frontier is to conquer YouTube.
Okay.
I'm not as excited as Instagram. Instagram is kind of like an afterthought for me. I know I need to be on Instagram, but and TikTok for that matter. But I don't really pay as much attention.
I would make a suggestion and have you consider doing content also in Spanish.
Excellent.
To open up that whole world for you. The Latin American culture is booming in America. And they are looking for mentors and people of high caliber to lead the way.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting angle. I've not considered it, but in effect, I'm actually starting to get invitations to start, serving that market. I work with this other organization, and they basically serve the Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs here in the U.S. and Mexico.
There's a lot of
successful entrepreneurs that are Latin. Right,
yes, a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm considering the same with Brazil,
the Portuguese
and starting to do content in Portuguese as well.
That is, mean, thank you for that insight. I receive it. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Where do you see this in 5 years?
Well, I think you heard me talk. I mean, Mike actually took it out of me, right? So, so I want to turn my company into a systems company, and I kind of I explained my journey, how as some of these AI vibe coding tools came out, I thought it would be kind of cool to start.
They're so cool.
Yeah,
they really are.
To start doing what I do.
I love vibe coding.
Yeah, exactly. To start creating the processes that I was running with my clients, and then coding them into a system. So initially, that system became more of creating assessments and just lead magnets that I could use to share with clients. And then I realized that if you actually combine all of those assessments and make them talk to each other, that there was a lot of value, because I was basically assessing different aspects, different dimensions of the entrepreneur's journey. So that's where I started to, evolve into using AI, not only for developing these assessments, but also having them being interconnected. And then the next level, once I realized that was available, then I said, well, wow, if we have all of this, now this becomes context for sort of a more powerful AI tool. And now that's basically the thing that I'm building right now, which is the automation of the company, of smaller companies, doing financial analysis, reporting, and even financial modeling, all using some of the highest highest, most efficient tools available today, like Claude and others. Yeah. So that's basically what we're building next. And it's actually, when I say building, it's like it's already built.
Right.
Essentially, we're really just talking about like how do we integrate them into one system so that it's completely seamless to a user. Because at the end of the day, what I notice is I consider myself as someone who is in 0.1% of the population who understands the power of these tools. I mean, people hear about these tools, but they're not really trying them.
They're not.
Right? So what? And I
it's
know
too much for a lot of people.
It's too much for a lot of people. Yeah. And the reality is that it takes a lot of work to get up to speed and to be able to master any one of them. So
it's changing so fast.
It's changing so fast, right?
Like you don't even reading.
Yeah. You don't even know like what's the next thing that you need to learn. So what I want to do is I mean, entrepreneurs need to be focused on building their businesses, not trying to catch up on the latest Claude code hack or skill that they need to use in their Claude. That's just not productive. So what I want to do is I just want to make it easier for entrepreneurs to be using the sort of the best tools that are available today in just one system that is priced accordingly to the stage of their business. And it's also providing them the ability to use AI, but also be able to talk to a human and get, most importantly, the wisdom of somebody who's been in the corporate world and is also somebody who's actually coaching and helping other entrepreneurs that are going through the same things that they're going through. So
bring it all together.
So the human and the AI together, I think that's where we win.
It's incredible. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do think that, especially in finance, the future, AI will probably do most of it, but I still think humans are going to want another human to translate what the AI is saying.
I mean, but right? Because I mean, I mean, you can get Claude
to do that human touch.
You can get Claude to produce the most amazing financial models.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know what to do with them.
Correct, or understand it.
I mean, you might if somebody teaches you.
Right. But you still need that person.
You need, and it's not only teaching you the model; it's teaching you the model in the context of your business.
Right. There's that also.
So that's what my company is trying to do, and we're trying to do it at scale. So I'm no longer thinking about just me being the person, but I'm just building the practice so that I can teach others and I can provide the tools to other fractional CFOs and advisors for them to run their practice using my system. So they also don't need to they don't need to spend thousands of hours and their own time just trying to get up to speed, because we are going to do that for them, and we're going to give them the tools and the environments and the assessments and the capabilities so that they can serve their clients with the highest level of precision and speed, etc. So
incredible, Cruz. Where can everyone find you if they want to learn more? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, so the easiest way is just go into my website, cruzgamboa.com, and then I'll reroute you to the right place. But for members of the BA community, they can just go to callwithcruz.com, and that will give you the link to my calendar. But that's, I only open that to the BA community.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Board of Advisors podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, follow us on all social media platforms. And remember, when you're in the room, anything's possible.